how is it that you recognize and acknowledge and approach problems? Let's see, problems are the main focus point here, and when you do it, does it resonate with the design thinking methodology?
So, identifying problems, basically I would say is from the process. This is what I say. The process throws up a lot of challenges, they become problems for many people to look at. Where do I find problems is one, the process speaks and tells that there are issues and you can. So, this is generally what I tell the students, and also if you are interacting with people, that interactions gives a lot of opportunities of identifying problems. Third, keep your eye and ear open for anything that is happening or changing in the macro environment space, which will definitely affect your own domain, and that is an area which can throw up a lot of problems, telling how you are going to approach them, how you are going to go and give your perspective it, and then deep dive into it, get more information, get more data, and see if you can draw insights from this data. These all will help you identify problems and bring in your perspective and solutions to it. If you think it is something which is worth it to be showcased to the world, go and send it to a journal, see if they are accepting it. It is not going to be easy, and if you are going to convincingly put that into a proper structured format and send it, it will get published, right. So, I mean, it might look easy what I am telling, but it is a tough process, because identifying the problem is one, putting it into an academic language and then deep delve into data and find out what it is, and then take that data and then publish it, is it is not that easy as we speak. Now, let me tell, for example, from the B school perspective, one of the biggest challenge for any B school, take from the top IIMs to a small school that is having its own set of students. I mean, unfortunately in this country we have a caste system in the B school, A grade B school, a B grade B school, a C grade B school, depending on whatever parameters that is set by whatever agencies that are going to look at these, right. One major challenge for all of them is to get good quality students, right. They always aspire to get very good quality students, and the next biggest task is ensuring that these good students are given good opportunities. If they want to create a startup, give good opportunities, or if they want to get into the corporate world, get the best of the profiles and the job opportunities for them. If these two are happening, then for sure any B school can become a best B school in the country as well as in the globe. And the process in which they are put into, the academic process, the experience that they are going to have, if you are able to give the best of the experience, they talk about it, then you get more students applying and you get better students. It is a cycle. If any one of this is gone, your number of applications for the B school goes down, and if the number of applications for the B school goes down, you do not get good students coming in. Now, I told you the process, I told you we find problems from the process. The process is throwing some problems at you. One, how can I ensure I give good opportunities to students, okay. Then you go further, you say if they are good students, for sure they will get good opportunities, okay, is the easiest way. How do I get good students? Okay, more the application merrier you are, because you got a lot of application, you got an opportunity to choose the best of the applicants and make them join into the program. So, now it is about going and ensuring that you get the best students and ensuring that those best students get a good process, so that they get good opportunities. Now, if you take up, I was talking about even the set of B schools, the A grade B schools, B grade B schools. If you take an A grade B school, almost all the students there are very good students. They go through some kind of selection process, and after crossing the selection process, you got an assessment center kind of stuff that is done, and you give opportunities students join the program, which means all the students are good, right. They should get best of the offers. Now, let me try to go and now link this to design thinking and data science, right. All the students want good offers. So, if you think from the client's perspective or the customer perspective, if I am a student, I need best of the profile, best of the package, so that I am able to kickstart my career if I am looking at not creating my own startup, but joining a corporate world. Okay. Now, if you look at all these students who are coming in, I have seen that some of them get very good offers when they start their corporate journey with a company, right. All of them are good. They came through a process, they had a specific cutoff percentile, all of them are fantastic. Why do some of them get placed in day 0? This is a question, it is a challenge in front of me. All of them came through the process, went through the assessment center, are great, but why do some of them get jobs on the day 0 itself? some of them go for a day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Now, here is a great challenge that comes up. What makes some of them get a day 0 job? What makes some of them get a day 4 job? What are the aspects that make them get jobs early with a fat salary package, with a great profile that they are aspiring for? Now, excellent problem on hand. If you now deep dwell, let me get into the data science aspects. This each of these student who comes in has got n number of variables attached to him: 10th, 12th, graduation, extracurriculars, the board in which they graduated, state, CBSE, IB. Some of them might have shifted places in India because their parents might have been in a transferable job. Some of them might know 6 languages, some of them might know 2 languages. Now, I am talking about all these variables which has shaped them till their graduation. Now, they are coming into the post graduation. Now, I was inclined to find out, are these variables playing something for them to get placed? Generally they say, hey, they get placed because they get a good CGPA, they get a good percentage. Is that the only reason, or do we have something more into it? So, getting into the data, I took a 5-year data. I started collecting all these variables for all my students: 10th, 12th, graduation, board, percentage in their graduation, when they joined here, what was their entrance score. It came to about 30-40 variables, and getting into the depth of which of these variables, now I got a 5-year data, right, which of these variables made them get placed. So, here are the set of variables. I took the past data. Here is one student who got placed. Here is one student who did not get placed in the day 0, got placed in day 4, day 5 with a different package, right, profile is different. So, when I went into the depth of it, I found that these students who have a very high score on their class 12 marks is one of the most influential variable for them to get placed in day 0. And those students who are there as a part of my student council, we got a student council, a set of 100 students are there in the student council. So, it is not or, it is and. So, someone, say for example, has got a very high class 12 score, 94 percentage, and is a part of my student council. There is a good possibility that this student gets a day 0 with a great package. Okay. Now, this is what data is speaking. Now, how will this help me in my decision making? While I select students, if I take students 2 equally competent, one has got a little higher score in my class, in his class or her class 12, if I am able to take them, then for sure what happens? They get a day 0 package. This is what data speaks. What happens? The average of my B school goes high. The brand perception of the B school also becomes better. More aspirants also want to join. So, it is a cycle. Now, the aspiration of a student is going and ensuring that I get great brands for them. So, I get great brands, I bring in the consulting companies also, but for the consulting companies to hire them, fortunately unfortunately this has played, nobody looks at, in fact consulting company does not look at, but since the data is showing this, if I am going to get them, there is a good possibility for them to get best jobs, and this is one reason we have got McKinsey on campus, Bain on campus, I am just giving examples, who are now wanting to take my students in larger numbers. From small it became larger. Example of data science put into action in practice of ensuring that these students get their best of the offers by making small changes over the past 2-3 years, right. So, that is how, I mean, example of how data science, I thought I can give this as an example of how data science plays for ensuring that I told about the student feedback, their aspirations, they want to do something good. I mean, I have to get the best brands, admissions to placements, all that is fine. From a design thinking point of view, I think from the students, I get the best brands, but then they should get opportunities. For that to happen, I bring in some data science intervention into it, make some changes in the process gives me opportunities to identify problems, answering that question, and then make these changes so that it becomes effective for the school, good for the students as well.
Wow, that was amazing. I wish I had my notes here. I was going to take down notes. For me, this is a very good example of how we in design thinking, you're absolutely spot on that we only look at it from the aspirational point of view, from what the students want, but we don't look at it from the organizational standpoint, and we that is a and if it is data driven, we are more well informed in when it comes to tweaking or changing the system.